All right, happy Monday night. Welcome, everybody. My name is Ellen, and this is Team Play Hard's weekly team call or team meeting. And I guess first and foremost, just off the bat, I'm seeing Danae, and I saw her post today, and I just wanted to give her a little shout out. I don't know if you guys saw that she had like crazy 3-day refresh results. And I just okay, unmute yourself. Tell them what your results were.
My results were, I don't have it wrote down, it's over 10 pounds and like over 7 inches I lost.
Yeah. And so I actually screenshotted your post and I put it in my challenge group. We just had four chicks do the 3-day refresh, and they had crazy transformation. So that program, you guys, if you haven't really done it honestly in a while, it's so powerful. Okay, let me remute Danae. So congratulations, Danae, for that. And then I don't know if you guys have had a chance to listen to the National Wake Up Call yet. As always, it is a must. It is a business essential to put that on your priority list. Good. We have people hopping on. So Julie Voris talked this morning about things that you can do to become a successful coach that do not require talent. And I was like, yes, because sometimes I'm like, I don't have a lot of business talent. So it was a perfect message. As always, you guys need to hear it, but I want to just quickly give you the bullet points. Work ethic. Work ethic has nothing to do with talent, whether you're talented or not. Work ethic. 2, your attitude. Attitude has nothing to do with talent. Number 3, your discipline with drinking your shake, reading your book or listening to your personal development, pushing play, doing your workout, and talking to people. And she asked the question, has this business, has this opportunity, has this company done anything for you? Has it made a difference in your life? If so, you have a message to share. So make sure you guys, as always, not just this week, but every week, make sure you do that. And I really appreciate when you put Kara always posts the replay, which is awesome. And it's been actually really nice when you guys will put your takeaways under where this is what I want this to become a new team habit. When Kara posts the replay, if you post your takeaways underneath it, it's going to keep bouncing that replay up to the top. And hopefully more of our team it'll keep reminding them, oh, I got to listen to that. Oh, I got to listen to that. Oh, I got to listen to that. Oh, look at their takeaways. Oh, look at their takeaways. So let's put our takeaways there. And okay, just quickly, show of hands. Who did Sean Week today? Anyone do Sean Week? Andrea, Kara, Mark, me. It was awesome, you guys. It was beautifully layered. It was classic heart and soul, right into the camera lens. Sean T Week. I'm so happy we're going to have this in our arsenal. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our guest speaker tonight, Andrea Barlow. I'm very excited to have her. Andrea, we usually keep our team calls to 30 minutes, and then if you're available, we'd like to do a little Q&A. Now, I don't know Andrea, so I'm excited to get to know her with you guys tonight, but I do know that she had a huge transformation and also cares about her business and I know she's going to talk to us about how she was able to use her transformation and make that work for her business. So I just think that's such a perfect message for our team. I'm super excited. I love that message. And yeah, she's on the East Coast. So it's super late there. She had to last minute get on her cell phone. So I won't take any more of our time. I'm going to hand it over. I'm unmuting you. You are on, Andrea. Teach us.
Hey, so hi guys. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrea. I have been with Beachbody for 2.5 years. I've been on a health and fitness journey with Beachbody for the past 2.5 years. But what you don't know about me is that I had no intentions of ever being more than a discount coach. I'm stubborn, I'm resistive, I'm set in my ways. I used to be scared of everybody. I crave and need acceptance and love from everybody, and I run from rejection. And all of those things were big reasons that held me back as far as working the business side of it. I was never motivated by Success Club. I was never motivated by earning money. I was never motivated by the Success Club trips. I was that person that you put all the shiny objects in front of me and I'm going to look at them and say, what the hell do I care about these things for? Like, it wasn't enough for me to get the hell over myself and actually do something with the business. So, how did I get on this crazy journey with Beachbody to begin with? It's been quite a crazy journey. I've actually had a weight problem and a very addictive personality my entire life. I tell this story all the time. I've been telling this for the last week, but it goes back to when I was a child, as young as 5 years old, when my parents got divorced. I went through a series of just adversity after adversity, hardship after hardship when I was very young. My dad was an alcoholic. He was a drinker. He was from the military. I was bullied in school. I had a babysitter that was abusive towards me. And then I got into a really bad relationship with a boy when I was 16 years old, and I fell into bad habits with him. I started binging and purging food when I was 13 years old. I had that eating disorder up until my journey with Beachbody. I felt when I was dating this boy, I replaced binging and purging with drugs and alcohol. And that ended up landing me in a very peculiar situation in which I was raped at a party that I had. And that's when my health crisis started. So I ran from the drugs and alcohol that I was doing, and I replaced it with food. And I started gorging myself with food, and I started blanketing all of this hardship that I went through as a kid, things I didn't understand, with food. And when I was about 25 years old, I got pregnant with my son. And it was the first time I ever stopped binging and purging because I wanted to have a healthy pregnancy. Right after we had my son, about 2 years after we had my son, we landed ourselves in a position in which I was packing all of our belongings to move into a homeless shelter. At the time, I was a full-time nursing assistant. I've been a nursing assistant since I was 16 years old. I'm 32 now. And I was the breadwinner of the family. Billy worked in construction, and he was constantly getting laid off of work because the housing market had fallen. And in the middle of us, on top of being a nursing assistant, I had a side job working as a photographer, taking wedding pictures. So I sold all of my photography equipment to afford enough money to get a moving truck and get a storage unit, and I moved in with my mom. About a year into moving in with my mom, well, actually 6 months into moving with my mom, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. She was miracle baby, and I wasn't supposed to get pregnant with her. And when I got pregnant with her, my thyroid quit working. I gained 125 pounds through that entire pregnancy. I was already obese when I was pregnant with her. So when I ended up having her in September of 2014, I weighed 375 pounds. I couldn't tie my own shoes. I couldn't fit behind the steering wheel of my own car. I had to upgrade my car. Instead of losing weight, I upgraded my car, got a bigger car. So I used to have to take breaks walking up the stairs because I would get out of breath, and all we had was a 2-story stairwell. So my life started really getting to this unhealthy state, and I was really, really in a bad off place. And in November, so this is going to be encouraging to you, especially as coaches. So in November, I had been following my coach, Crystal, for a long time. And all she ever shared, what made me follow her so faithfully for years, was that she shared the ups and the downs. And I loved that she shared the downs. I loved how real that she was because it made me feel like I could relate to her. And I loved that she didn't put, wait to share things when things were perfect. She shared it when it was in the nitty gritty. And what that allowed me to do was me to attach to her before I even became a coach. So she always shared about Shakeology and Turbo Fire. And she posted this thing about a Black Friday sale going on. And I begged and pleaded with my mom to buy me this Turbo Fire for Christmas. I said, I don't want anything else, just get me Turbo Fire. Ended up not having Turbo Fire, so I settled with Les Mills Combat at the time, which is no longer a program. So, which Quarter Force was out then, it would have been a soulmate program for me. So she didn't end up giving me the program right away, and up until this point, I already knew how heavy and bad off I was at that point, but I never really faced it until we took our son to Hershey Park for his birthday, and he asked me one question that changed everything forever. He said, Mommy, why do you never get on rides with me, but Daddy does? And I was sitting here trying to explain to my son why I'm missing out on moments with him, and I couldn't come up with a good enough reason why, except that I hadn't tried to fix the problem. So instead of giving him an excuse as to why I couldn't get on roller coasters, I said, Kyle, you know that question you asked me about the rides? Yeah. I said, I'm sorry Mommy never got on roller coasters with you, but I promise you next year I will. The next day, I went to go stand on the scale in the bathroom. Now, mind you, I'd already had an inkling to know how heavy I was at that point, but I never faced the emotions. I never faced my past up until that point and what actually got me in my health crisis. That day in that bathroom, I had a nervous breakdown. I screamed at myself in the mirror. And I took items in the bathroom with full intention to kill myself. I share that moment so candidly because I was the person that was purchased a program and had a tangible solution, but still thought that killing herself was an easier task than losing 200 pounds. In that moment in that bathroom, all that I thought about was all of my failures, all the things I didn't achieve, all of the people that hurt me, all of the things that I ever went through. And I was tired. I was tired of fighting in a life that I just wasn't succeeding in. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in my ability to lose the weight. And in that moment, my daughter cried. And at the time, she was 3 months old. And that moment, I dropped the knife that I took into the bathroom. And I yelled at myself and said, Andrea, just try. And I walked to my DVD player. I pushed play. I can't tell you how I got through those 30 minutes. I can't tell you what I struggled with. But what I could tell you is at the end of those 30 minutes, I felt so powerful that I never wanted that feeling to leave me again. I felt in control because that 30 minutes I was fighting all of the demons that were surfaced up inside me in that bathroom. And I was taking it out on my workout. And what you don't know is by the end of that workout, my socks were soaked in blood. I had pre-diabetic feet. I'm certain that I was probably diabetic. And my feet had deep heel fissures on them. And when I would work out, it would break open the fissures to the point that my feet would bleed. And for the first 6 months of my fitness journey, there were times that I had to actually use crutches to get around because I could not walk on my own feet because from working out, I had opened those fissures so much on my feet that they would not heal. So I got really inventive and I found a solution in which involved ShamWows and bag balm. You know, ShamWows, things you dry your car with. And after that, you know, just a series of crises started happening in my life. My mother-in-law got hospitalized. We had to renovate her house. We found out she was a hoarder. They told me my daughter was going to need emergency surgery on her colon, and she was in and out of specialty care appointments. And then 9 months into my journey with Beachbody and being a coach, I found out my mom needed to go into surgery to remove a brain tumor. I wasn't a coach when I started my journey with Beachbody. I joined as a coach because I wanted to get a discount on the Shakeology every month. I got to a point, though, in my journey, even after joining as a coach, because I didn't want to work the business. And because I was scared to be that salesperson. I thought, what can I give up in my everyday that will allow me to save even more money on Shakeology? And I started studying my finances and realized that I was spending a small fortune on cigarettes. So I gave up my 10-year, 15-year habit with my almost 2 packs a day Newport 100 addiction to drink Shakeology. That's how serious I was. But it still didn't want to work the business. I still didn't want to earn my money towards my Shakeology. That's how resistive I was. My coach was so frustrated with me because I was also that person that shared my journey so candidly that I naturally attracted people that could have taken a journey with me early on, but I didn't see that, and I wasn't confident in inviting people to take a journey with me because I wasn't confident in leading people, and I was scared to death to lead somebody the wrong way. So I ended had I not been a coach, I don't know that I ever would have gotten through all of the adversities that I went through that year because, when I went to Summit, Christina Delgado said something about leaning into the storm. And when she said that at Summit, I burst into tears because that was my motto of my life, is that, my life was a storm. And I absolutely had no choice but to lean into it and deal with it. So then I ended up getting to a point finally that, I did end up losing 100 pounds my first year with Beachbody through adversity designed to break and tear a person down. And, I stayed on top of that. My thyroid wasn't working. There were times that I would push play on my workouts, eat all of the right food, and I gained 25 pounds because my thyroid wasn't working. So if it's one person that says, I can't do this, I want to give up, I get that mentality. And, because of that, I kind of held myself back because I didn't want to add another failure to my list of past failures. But finally, once I lost this first 100 pounds, I really started dreaming about a life that I never had experienced. And I thought, how crazy could my life get if I could achieve certain things? So I made a vision board for myself. And I filled that board with crazy things to achieve that if I achieved them, it would blow my own mind. I'm on track to achieving everything on that board in the same year of this year, minus 2 goals. And one of those goals I put on that board, and I didn't believe in that goal when I put it up there, was to be a Beachbody Challenge finalist and win it. Because in my mind, I believed there's no possible way I could ever achieve something like that. Even though I'd lost 100 pounds, I still didn't believe I could achieve it. But I thought, well, you know what? Maybe if I did, it'd be really awesome. So then I started taking a journey of proving my fears wrong and taking a journey of proving myself that I was possible. Because for my whole life, I believed that I wasn't possible. I believed false truths about myself that just weren't real. So then I ended up getting to the stage where it came to me submitting my results to the Beachbody Challenge. And I was petrified to do it. Because I knew once I submitted my results, because I had such a massive result, that there was a chance I would get recognized as a monthly winner and go all the way with this. And, you know, whenever you ever hear that taking the first step is the hardest step, well, it totally is true, because taking that first step for me, you know, when you're afraid to take that first step, you have to really evaluate why you're afraid of taking that first step. And why I was afraid of taking that first step was I was afraid to tell my story to the world. I was afraid to tell the story of my past failures. I was afraid to tell my story that I was so depressed, I almost killed myself, and I used to cut myself. I was afraid to tell the story that when I was a teenager, I was doing drugs and alcohol and then fell into a food addiction. I was afraid to tell my truth to the world because I was so ashamed of that story. I was so ashamed of that truth. And I was also afraid, that also in itself made me feel like I was inadequate to be a leader, because I felt these awful things, this awful, shameful things about myself that in all reality, they were my gifts. They were my gifts to the world, because they were the things that made me become a really good student. So these hardships and all these failures and all of these fears that you have, they are good. They're proof that you are living. They mean that you're still a student in life and that you have learned from something, that you have overcome something. So finally, my mentor said something to me, and it was David McLean, because he's been he's done the Beachbody Challenge twice now, and he said to me, Andrea, do you realize how selfish you are being? And I thought, wait a minute, who is he to tell me I'm being selfish? Because I'm like the most selfless person in the world. I will give somebody the shirt off my back. And he said, you have this incredible story of survival, and you have this incredible story of victory, and you're holding all of that to yourself. And there is a whole world out there that there's somebody out there that used to be you. There's somebody out there that is wanting to kill themselves because they think that they are too bad off. There's somebody out there that thinks that they can't lose weight. There's somebody out there that thinks that they are not possible. And you have the solution. You have the life lessons, and you have the story, and you're holding it all to yourself and not sharing it with anybody. And when he said that for me, the game was changed. Everything changed. I started viewing myself as a coach, because then it became a mission of, I need to get my hands on enough people and start saving lives. It no longer became about ranks and success club and things like that, because I wanted to take people on a journey with me. I wanted people to, even if I was failing in my own journey, I wanted to take them with me, because I didn't want to hold all these tools that I had at my disposal and hold it all to myself and be selfish with it. So I submitted my results. And when I submitted my results, I had no idea what was going to become of it. But I had an idea. So the next month, they picked me as a monthly winner. So I won $1,000 from that. Then I went on to win quarterly. I won $5,000 from that. Then they flew me out to California. 2 weeks before they flew me out to California, I lost a friend that was like a sister to a heroin addiction overdose. So here's the story of adversity. It's still spinning around in control, out of control. And my mother-in-law right now is actively dying. So, all of these things, just my life didn't stop falling apart. But I didn't let it stop me from creating my life, because I told myself that life could get so hard, but I was going to dig my feet in harder, and I was going to fight back at it. So I ended up going off to Beachbody headquarters to tell my story, which was really scary because I knew I was going to be telling parts of my story that I never told, and I had no idea what to expect. And then I was going there, and I didn't have the mental clarity because I had lost my friend. And I ended up coming back, and I actually had a falling out with my coach. So me and her, she, because we're really close. We became really close and like friends. And she always says that we need a picture of boxing gloves on together, because that's been like our relationship. Because I am like brutal honesty. Like, if you're doing something that I don't like, or you're not showing up, or you're being inconsistent, or I think that I'm going to be the one to call you on your crap. That's just how I am. I'm very bluntly honest, and not everybody can handle that. So I was being blunt honest, and it kind of made turmoil mud of our relationship at the time. And she told me, you know what? I don't want to be a part of anything that you're doing with the Beachbody Challenge, because it's making you a crazy person. So, here my coach was telling me, I don't want anything to do with what you're doing. My family, they didn't want anything to do with what I was doing. I started losing friends. I started losing people. I did not stop hustling. I did not stop. I did not stop doing the workout. I did not stop drinking my Shakeology. I did not stop listening to personal development. I did not stop asking people to take a journey with me. And I did not stop believing that there was somebody out there that was me, that needed to have a life change. And I just kept repeating the same habits over and over, day in and day out, no matter what was going on in my life. No matter what was going on in my life, I pushed play on my workout. I gave myself a list of non-negotiable things that I would not quit no matter what. And those non-negotiables for me were my personal development, pushing play on my workouts, and talking to one person a day. Those were my bare minimal baselines, as far as when I didn't feel as though I had anything to give because life broke me down so badly. That was my 5% that I could give no matter what. So, and my coach was very much the personal development Nazi. And I was very much the resist of, who needs personal development? What is this stuff really for anyway? So I started listening to podcasts and Audible. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you are a business coach or you want to dabble in the idea of going from discount to even just earning enough money for your Shakeology, the podcast series I'm Not You by Neo Sobo has totally changed my entire coaching mindset, because he puts you in a fearless mindset as far as being a leader. So that became a really big changer for me as far as, the personal development, realm became. But the other part of this was, to be all honest, why I wasn't a successful coach. I didn't have a fitness community. I was relying on the community. Neo is spelled NIWOSOBO. I was answering somebody's question in the chat. And then I'll screenshot this and give it to Ellen to show her what the the podcast looks like so she can put it in the team page for you. But I was never really honest. When I really sat down, right before I went to California is when I brain dumped. For an entire week, I brain dumped on a piece of paper because I woke up one day so angry that I had lost over 155 pounds with Beachbody, and I was not a successful business coach. Then it really started bothering me. I thought, I've lost all this weight. Why does nobody want to take a journey with me? Why does everybody keep telling me no? What am I doing wrong? I knew exactly what I was doing wrong. And I did what I was doing wrong was I was not being real with defining what my support looked like. So I asked myself one key pivotal question. What are you afraid of and why? And what I was afraid of and why was I was afraid of running my own fitness community. And I hadn't had a fitness community in which I plugged people into. So I had nothing to invite people to. Nothing. I could invite them to our, the team fitness page, but I wasn't being responsible in my own fitness community. I wasn't making myself show up to be responsible. So I had to force myself into that. So I brain dumped for an entire week defining what does my support look like? What does my support look like? What do I offer? What am I good at? What do I want to help people achieve? What do I want to help people overcome? And once I started getting in tune with my own self, I started finding the confidence. And, I think the one thing that I can give you as advice from me, because everybody always asks me, because I want to leave you guys time for you guys to ask me questions, that I think is the most important thing in all of this is consistency. And consistency in at least 2 things daily. No matter what. I'm going to be the honest one to tell you this. You did not purchase a program for it to collect dust. You did not purchase that big bag of Shakeology to forget to drink it. You did not sign up to be a business coach and dream big for those dreams to not become a reality. You deserve those things. I didn't achieve anything that nobody can't achieve. What I achieved was simply a process of repeating small things daily that over time compounded to one giant result. That's my secret. My secret is I took 3 basic things and I repeated them over and over and over and over and over again. And finally one day it was like, pow! Big result, big change. And the thing of it is, you are selling yourself short of a life that you could have by living in these false truths and these false realities that aren't true. You have to begin to become aware of who you are, why you do what you do, and why this journey is important to you. Why it is important for you to achieve. Why is it important for you to have a fitness transformation? And what is the risk of you not doing something about it today? The risk is not achieving. And you deserve more for your life than that. And when you start to repeat, when you start to do the small things like pushing play on your workout, and you begin to focus on solutions instead of problems. So focus on the solutions, not the problems. When you begin to focus on all of that, you find your success. So I want to leave you guys a chance to ask me questions because I am like a walking wealth of knowledge. I have been through things probably you would never imagine. So please ask me anything. If you are failing, struggling, and you haven't had results right now, I want to hear from you, and I want to hear why, so we can get to the bottom of it now.
You are the cutest. Andrea, you need to call Jeff Hill up and Sandy and be like, I'm ready for the national wake-up call. You are
That's actually on my
dude, I am dead serious. I mean, that was national wake-up call. That was national wake-up call quality. You are so passionate and so articulate and so believable because it's true and it's coming from your heart. And I mean, that was a huge blessing to me. And I do have a few questions. I have a few questions, and then I don't know if I don't know if anybody else will, but they're sort of all over the place, popcorn style. But how did you find your coach? Okay, the one you said you were kind of stalking her on social media. Was she a friend? Was she an old high school buddy? Was she just someone you found? Did you have a relationship with her?
So this is the beauty of Beachbody.
The boxing glove friend, her.
So this is the beauty of Beachbody, okay? I actually had another coach reach out to me and invite me to the business. And I said no to her. And she kept hounding me. She was hounding me in a way that was like really salesy. And I'm like, I'm not like the way you're talking to me right now.
Yeah.
But Crystal was never like that. Yeah. And how I met Crystal was one of my high school friends' best friends I was friends with on social media. And she posted that she was going to, that her cousin's cousin was coming to the wedding and had lost, I think, like 75 pounds with Weight Watchers and was doing, and had a blog. And she posted this blog, and I started following Crystal that way. Okay. So I found Crystal through a friend, through a friend, through a friend. It was like this small world. You have no idea how connected we are in this world.
No, I love that. And I actually love that you said that you were being harassed by someone else that was being icky. And yeah. And I'm really also glad that you mentioned how one of the reasons you were so reticent to do the coaching business is because you didn't want to come off as salesy. And I will tell you, that is something that our team struggles with so much. They are paralyzed, if I can speak on their behalf, in their third person, even though they're on, and those who are not even specifically people who are on tonight, but we as a team get caught up in that paralysis mode of, am I coming across salesy? And, I'd rather just keep quiet than turn someone off. And so I'm glad that you addressed that. Did you want to say something else about that?
Yes, I was just going to say, the biggest piece of advice I can give you if salesy is like your MO, you're like, I want to be that icky salesman, is this business is a lot about relationships. So the more, it's as simple as you going on your social media and saying, I am so excited for my beach trip in August that I can't wait. I found a perfect bathing suit and I can't wait to fit into it. And share a picture of that bathing suit, okay? And you keep sharing your progress along the way of fitting into that bathing suit. Guess what happens? People start following your journey of fitting into that damn bathing suit. And then they start messaging you. What are you doing? So that's one way to naturally attract it. Exactly. The other way is you don't have to reach out to people and be that icky salesperson. You can simply, when you hear people say inviting and talking to people daily, do you talk to your best friend every day? Mm-hmm. So if you talk to your best friend every day, that's what it is when you're talking to people. You're talking to them. And even when you get a no. So when I get a no, that person goes in the no section on I'm a pencil and people person. So I have a no list. and you go on my no list. So if you go on my no list, then you go into where I will comment and like on your posts and message and just get the chance to build that friendship with you over the next few weeks to a month. And then what ends up happening is they end up saying yes to you without you even having to ask them again, because you've now formed a friendship with them. And on your social media too, if you're afraid to be that weird person friend requesting new people, as long as you're posting at least something inspirational once or twice a day, people are going to want to follow you for that positivity, because we're in such a negative world that they're not going to be like, oh, I don't want to follow this positive person.
Well, what would be icky too is if you got the no, and what you do is you put them in this no file where you continue to love and relate to them. What would be icky is if you invited, you got a no, and you're like, well, rip that. So much for them. Moving on. Bye-bye. That would be icky. You know, you take the icky, you take the potential, any potential ick out of it by genuinely continue to care for that person, you know, in spite of them not being ready.
Right. And to be honest too, have you been seeing a lot of the people with the test group for the shift shop results? What have you been seeing them do? Every week, they are posting a picture to update what's going on with them and their results. And as I'm prepping for Beachbody Classic, I keep posting pictures of, because like I'm like on track. I'm like, am I ever going to get my abs through my loose skin? So I keep posting pictures of that. And that in itself, I'm attracting now bikini competitors into my business. And I never had that before, all because I'm sharing the journey that I'm on. So it's as simple as sharing the journey that you are on. And it makes you more accountable. It makes you more inspiring. And you attract your tribe to you that you can help because they're just like you.
And so one thing to dovetail on that, and this isn't to the people that are like on this call particularly, but I hope the entire team listens to this replay. This is incredible content. If you're not on a journey, if you're stagnant, then, you know, there's no power. There's nothing to share that will attract. Right? I mean,
yes, and that's the thing. You know, every day that I feel like not pushing play on my workouts,
yeah,
I remember the day that I almost took my own life. And maybe if you like don't have that, I think when you have less weight to lose, we have a tendency to talk ourselves out of being consistent because we think that we have a cushion in which is safe for us to gain weight.
right.
So we start talking ourselves into, oh, that's okay to have. I'll do that. Oh, this workout's okay to miss. I'll double up that workout.
Right.
But here's the thing. You need to focus on your habits. You did not get into a place of lack of confidence in the direction of moving towards a health career. If you keep repeating the habits that aren't serving you, you are literally driving your life vehicle in a direction that you never wanted to go to begin with. Think about it. You get in your car every day to go to work, right? So when you get in the car to go to work, you have to turn the keys to get the car to move, correctly? It would be madness for you to sit there and say, well, if I got to get to work to get paid today, I'm going to hope and wish that this car turns itself on for me and drives me. No, you have to drive it. But what happens if some obstacles come up, some detours in your pursuit of getting to work? Are you going to pull off to the side of the road and say, well, that's it. This road's closed. That road's flooded. And, there's too much traffic. I'm going to go back home. You won't have that option because you have to show up to work. You have to treat taking care of yourself as your job. Mm-hmm. Like it is your job to take care of yourself because nobody's going to do it for you. And if you don't begin to do it for you, life is going to begin to serve you exactly what you give it. So that's my little spiel on that.
Drop the mic. I love that you said life vehicle. Life vehicle. That was good. Okay, listen, I'm gonna close with this unless someone has a burning desire to jump in. I know it's really late. I know it's late, but it was all so good. I'm really like protective of team calls, and I value you guys' time so much that I'm always a little bit nervous to hand it over to someone. I feel like you guys trust me. And then, so I saw this post on the wall and it was from one of you guys' uplines. I don't even know. And she's like, I've got these finalists and they're looking for opportunities to speak and they've had these amazing transformations. And I was kind of like, lately I've been doing all the team calls and sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, they get so sick of hearing from me all the time. It's nice to have a guest speaker once in a while, but I usually really know the guest speaker. I know a lot about their business or I know a lot about them personally. So I was kind of like, okay, I'm interested. So then she responded right away, put us in a Facebook thread and was like, okay, when can they do it? When can they do it? And Kevin did last week and he was great. He was awesome. And I got a little nervous about like, what if they suck? What if they don't provide good value? And I have to tell you, Andrea, you delivered like galore. What I was going to say is I was feeling a little nervous about it. Like I'm a control freak and a little nervous about it. And then Andrea face in this little thread. Sorry about my dogs. Andrea she actually voice memoed. And I heard that raspy voice of hers and I could hear in that little whatever clip her passion. And I was like, that one's going to be good. That's going to be good. And then she messaged me today and she's like, is there anything specific that your team really wants? A word, something that they really could use. And so I was like, this is going to be good. And you blew me away. Thank you so much. I wish I could write you a check. Like, thank you so much for like your time to a team. I love that about our company. Like, this doesn't benefit her. She donated an hour of her time at whatever 10:30 at night on the East Coast. For us, we're not going to positively impact her business. You know what I mean? It's just, thank you.
That's what the I am Team Beachbody mantra is about. Other people keep telling me that, but that's just how I am. I feel as though what you give to this world, what you give to yourself, all comes back to you.
Hey, and I actually am a little bit of a personal friend of Jeff Hill's. I've got his cell phone number in my phone. I'm going to tell him we've got a national wake-up call. We do. You've got it. It's ready to go. Like, I'm going to give you this YouTube video. You need to get the transcript. You're good to go. National wake-up call.
Yeah, that's crazy because I have this like whole dream board and like vision board and like I filled it with, and I've been like replaying this in my mind. I'm actually a national wake up call junkie. So when I decided to be a business coach, I like went through the podcast library and I was like, oh, I gotta listen to every single national wake up call that was like ever made. And like every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, one day maybe I'll be on the national wake up call.
You got it, girl. You really do. It was such a blessing to hear from you. You inspired me on a lot of different levels. Thank you so much again. And we look forward to following you. You guys follow her on Facebook and let's support her and be cheering for her. So, all right. Thank you so much. I will get you recording and get me the name of that podcast.
What I'll do is I will actually screenshot you and give you that's my top 3 personal development books or listen tos as far as what's going to help with consistency and committing, because that'll like really weave in and tie in to what you feel as though your team needs.
Beautiful. Okay. Thank you again so much. Have a great night.
You too.